So this is not a video that I typically make here on the channel. I don't aspire to be on YouTube to air my grievances or things like that, but a situation happened to me and I do have a little platform here and I've decided to use it.
Hi, thank you. Thank you. Have a great time.
Hey there, I'm Dan, the self-proclaimed lonely rocker. Thank you so much for joining me today. So yeah, I've got a little situation after careful thought, because I think about everything I do. This channel is about positivity. I work very hard. I'm based in north of Toronto, so I like to be a Canadian voice. I'm wearing red today. And I'm just here to have fun. I'm not here to criticize anybody. That's not what I do here on YouTube. But there's a situation that happened to me, and after talking to some of my friends in the know and some people in the industry, they thought I was well within my right to use my channel to talk about this. And the main reason I want to do it is because I want to defend my honor. I made some promises to people that now I can't deliver because of the situation. And this is sort of my way to say sorry for that. I don't think I did anything wrong, but let me tell you the story. I'm here at the Elmira Vintage Guitar Show in beautiful Elmira, Ontario, about an hour and a half northwest of Toronto, Canada. It's a great little show, and I'll say right off the top, before I get into anything I have to say, it's a well-run event. It's a lot of fun. If you're into guitars, especially vintage guitars, it's got all sorts of things related to the guitar, and it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend you check it out. So I've been affiliated with the show for about 3 years now. It started with a cold email that I sent to them, and I got connected to the organizer of the event. Now, I'm not here to embarrass him. I'm not here to shame him. So going forward, I'm just going to refer to him as Mr. Organizer. Anyways, they invited me to the show. They asked in exchange if they can get a few raw clips so they could create a promo for the following year. I said, absolutely. Just making it clear that I can't do free custom video productions. That's how I earn my living. They totally understood. Anyways, went to the show, had a great time, got some footage. They reached out to me the following year, just asking for the clips, and I surprised them with a fully edited promo. I said I wouldn't do it. They didn't ask for it, and they were so thrilled with it. They put it on the homepage of their website. Now, I'm not going to take any credit for their marketing, but that video did get a lot of views, so it was a good tool to add to their marketing arsenal. Anyways, the following year, and I went to the show, and in preparation for this year, when they called to ask for their clips, I surprised them once again with a fully polished, even more polished promotional video, which they again proudly displayed on their website. So I should mention the last couple of years, they offered me a table, which I could put a TV to showcase my channel and things like that. But ultimately, I probably spent easily 10 to 12 days of my life over the last couple of years just giving my time to shoot, creating full episodes on my YouTube channel, and giving them free promo. So I feel like I did offer a lot in kind, and probably more than I would generally offer most other people. So we went this year. I brought my son last year, but this year he really wanted to get involved. He asked if we can bring an extra camera, so I gave him a dedicated camera. So we showed up with 2 cameras. We worked very hard. At a trade show, you have all these tables. These are people that have paid to have a table in the hopes of selling some product to the people that are attending the event. But a lot of the people there know me now, and many were excited to see me, invited me into their booth, handed me their instruments to play. I got all sorts of footage. But I respect everyone's space and time. They're there for a purpose. So one thing I was mindful of this year was they did expand to 2 arenas. They occupied a single arena previously, but this year they expanded to 2. Now, there was a bit of space around. There's room to grow. Perhaps he's trying to attract more vendors for the following year. So I thought, hey, you know what? Why don't I shoot a lot of the branding, just to make all of the vendors there feel included. And maybe as part of the following year's promotion, he can show all the different vendors and just say, hey, we've got room for you. Maybe find some uniqueness for maybe some other potential, vendors to have a table and things like that. So I'm thinking about all of this. We got 2 cameras on the go. We shot tons of footage. I just want to say it was just so nice to see people I've become friends with and some patrons who attended the event that recognized me from my YouTube channel or from the previous year. And everyone just seemed to be having a great time. So anyways, the next morning is when
everything went to hell.
I got an email from Mr. Organizer. And in the email, he started off by just saying, hey, Dan, hope you got some great footage, usable footage, I think is what he said. And then right after that, it said, after meeting with my team, and I'm paraphrasing here a little bit, we've decided that the Lonely Rocker is no longer a fit for the Elmira Vintage Guitar Show, something to that effect. Well, of course, that was very surprising to me. I'm thinking, well, what just happened? I mean, I just spent my time, my son's time. I was just about to go through all this footage. Now, he basically said they will not be granting me any access for future shows or access to merch or their patrons. And they don't expect anything in return either, meaning we're done. So as a professional as I am, I wrote him and I said, this is unfortunate news. You know, I understand businesses make decisions, and, you know, if you had to make a decision, I'll truly understand. But in the spirit of always wanting to be better, is it possible you could provide me some exit feedback? Now, it's funny. I was never paid to be there, and I told you that I was very giving of my time, but it's his event. It's, you know, his decisions. I completely respect that. But I was just curious. Hey, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I got in someone's face. I'm just curious. So to his credit, he responded to me, and he gave me two reasons why he no longer wanted me to be a part of the Elmira Vintage Guitar Show. And I want to share those reasons with you. Now, reason number one, I believe, is the only reason he doesn't want me there anymore. Reason number two, I think, is bullshit, but it was just kind of a little filler fodder just to fill it up a little bit. That's just my opinion. So here we go. So let's start off with number two, and then I'll get to number one. I've learned that just a montage of shots from a guitar show don't necessarily attract viewers. It's kind of boring, right? You know, and I've watched other videos and I see YouTubers interacting with the patrons and just making it fun, maybe coming up with an angle. And I really wanted to make this thing bigger and bigger and, you know, help promote this event for future years. I've talked about it to some of my international contacts about maybe there's a way we could set up a table representing some of their products, you know, remotely, maybe hire someone who can man the table. I've been thinking about all kinds of things and really networking on behalf of the Elmira Vintage Guitar Show, really without telling them, but just wanting to be a resource for them. So in making the video, I want to make a video that people are going to watch, right? Because why else are we doing this? If it's just a montage of vintage guitars, I've noticed that the videos just don't get a lot of views. People click off pretty quickly. That's why they're not getting a lot of views. So what I did is, as people start coming in, there's a big rush of people that come in. It's quite a sight to see, and I make sure I almost missed it this year, but we got it. And I greet people, and I'll show you a couple of clips because generally people are excited, and when they see me and my camera, they have no problem interacting with me. Where are you guys from?
Wherever, Teeswater.
Questions are getting harder. Who's the best air guitarist? Is it you?
Real guitars.
We're kidding. Who's the best air guitarist? Come on. Don't be shy. All right. I want to see some air guitar. It's corny, but it works. Thank you. Now, while I was doing this, I was thinking of ways to engage people, you know, asking them different questions, of course, asking where they're from and stuff. And I came up with this idea in my head. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing because I was trying to get people to do air guitar. Because last year I noticed a lot of people were very giving with their air guitar skills. You know, everyone wants to do it. And then you have a whole montage of people doing this thing. It is a guitar show. As corny as it is, people like to do it. So I was asking them, you know, different ways to play some air guitar. And then this one particular group of people, I just said, hey, the best air guitarist pays full price.
Yeah.
The best air guitarist pays full price.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of laughed it off a little bit, no big thing. And I'm just in flight right now. I'm not, giving too much thought, but I do respond to things that work, and things that don't work, I tend to just move in a different direction. So as I came back, I was wondering, I'm going to see if maybe I'll try this. So Mr. Organizer happened to be at the front there. Now I'm going to show you this clip, but I'm going to blur him out. I'm even going to change his voice because I'm not here to embarrass him. But I ran it by him since he was there, and let me run that clip. I'll give you my line I gave everyone. Ready?
Yep.
I said the best air guitarist gets to pay full price.
That's all I got.
So he may have been involved in something else, but he definitely reacted to it. If he had some thought and thought, you know what, that's not such a good idea, he could have told me at that point. But in the email, he told me that the air guitar for full price routine was juvenile and it made people awkward. Well, I have some of the receipts here. Now, in fairness, I could tell you that I only did it 2 or 3 times and show you the clips, but how do you know I don't have 300, right? That's fair. My word, I tried it a couple of times. I got a sort of mediocre reactions from it. There was one gentleman at the front, and I'll show you that clip again. I'm not going to show him because I'm not looking to embarrass him. This is the only person that I would say reacted in a not so positive way, but it wasn't negative either. Did you hear the best air guitarist gets the pay full price?
Hi.
Guess what?
Gets the pay full price.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Is that a note air guitar?
Yeah. No, pass.
Thank you.
Anyways, after that one, I thought, I kind of moved on to other things, and I didn't say it again. So 2, maybe 3 people heard that. It wasn't a routine that I was doing all day long. And in this email, he said that this was juvenile. And I figured he's probably just throwing that in there just to pile on. If he actually felt that way during the event, he knew I was doing it. He could have pulled me aside and say, you know what, Dan, I don't feel comfortable with that. I would have told him, you know, I'm not even doing it anymore, but I respect that. Absolutely. And I didn't do it from that point anyways. So the other point, and this is the reason why he doesn't want me involved anymore, and this is really, really silly. The guitar community in Toronto has been underserved in terms of events over the last couple of years. Elmira has been kind of it. Well, another guitar show moved in to Toronto proper. Remember, Elmira is an hour and a half northwest of Toronto. But in Toronto proper, we haven't had a real guitar show in a long time. So there's another guitar show. And by the way, I ran this by them before I made this video. They're not involved in this video. I asked them if I could just mention their name. They're not part of this. They don't have any opinions in this. They don't have any opinion about what I'm doing. They actually don't even care. But it's the Toronto Guitar Expo. It was the first annual. It happened this year. And I was invited to be a part of that. I got to know the organizer, and I was, you know, in my limited capacity, was doing my best to help them out for this first year. And same kind of thing, brought in to shoot some video. They offered me a table. But they actually gave me the title of media partner. I'm not being paid. Remember, I'm not being paid at Elmira either. I'm there out of my, kindness of my heart, just wanting to attach myself to some fun events, make some good content, and, build some relationships with the people involved. That's pretty much it. So wasn't paid with Elmira. They brought me in, offered me some incentives, but I said, let's, like new friends, let's get to know each other and see where it goes. And same thing, but he attached this media partner title to me, put it on his website. 2 days before the event, I did an Instagram video. And in the video, I said the guitar show that Toronto deserves. Now, that was their slogan, or at least kind of a close to what their slogan they were trying as they were leading up to the event. So I said it in the video. Mr. Organizer of the Elmira show noted in the email that in seeing that you were involved in another show as media partner, so he quoted media partner, and saying the show that Toronto deserves, our partnership was tenuous at best. So there is the real reason, people. For some reason, he got his nose out of joint that I got involved in another trade show. I have no exclusivity with the Elmira show. I have no exclusivity with the Toronto Guitar Expo. I'm doing it because I want to be involved. I want to be one of the ambassadors of the guitar community here in Toronto. I feel our community is underserved as far as events. I'm super excited that there is a Toronto show and really looking forward to this becoming an annual event. And I was excited to be a part of Elmira. And I say the more the merrier. These shows do not happen on the same day. They don't even happen on the same month. They could work together in coordinating and just building up interest in guitar. And it appears to me that the organizer, or Mr. Organizer from the Elmira show, is taking an isolationist policy where maybe he's feeling threatened that there's another guitar show. But this is silly. I just told you, the Elmira show is a wonderful event, and it's based around the idea of vintage guitars. The Toronto Guitar Expo is more focused on brands. There was some good brand names there. They had some good distributors that brought all sorts of products from, household names, from different guitar brands and pedals. There was a lot of pedal makers there. There was a little bit of crossover. Some of the people that I saw at the Toronto Guitar Expo were also at the Elmira show. This just expands the reach for all of these companies to be able to promote their wares, especially here in Canada and in Toronto. In light of recent geopolitical events, Canadians need different ways to promote their businesses. And if I can be someone that can help, that's what I'm here for. And to be told that I'm juvenile because I'm trying to make some funny content to help promote their event that I'm not being paid for, and being upset that I participated in another trade show. You know what? Give me a contract. Give me some exclusivity. Put some money in my pocket, and then we can have a conversation. But even then, I'd probably say, don't worry about it. Let me just help out. That's probably what I would do. I'm not two-fisting cash at these events. I like to be involved. So unfortunately now, I can no longer be involved in the Elmira show. I can no longer make the video that I had planned. And I want to send out an apology to all of you who attended that event, who I promised to put you in the video. I had notes. I have all the footage in my computer. I was about to start editing. Now, I will give him credit. At least he told me before I spent 4 or 5 days of my life putting this video together. So I will thank him for that. And I'll thank him for being somewhat honest. I mean, he could have said, we're just going in a different direction. We wanted to, maybe try a different YouTuber. But he at least was honest. I don't believe the air guitar routine had anything to do with it, but I pretty clear that my involvement in another trade show made him upset. I don't know why. People, we don't need isolationist policies, specifically in my city here. I want to see more events. Let's have 3, 4, 5 events throughout the year. Let's build messaging around the guitar. And the music industry is different these days. You know, kids are not gravitating to rock music and blues and jazz, you know, digital music, hip hop, rap, all that stuff. I got 2 kids. It's a battle we need to face if we want to build interest in that instrument and the genre that is represented by that guitar. And to have these isolationist policies or feel threatened or some kind of competition because there's another trade show, he may have more specific reasons, and I would welcome his thoughts on all of this. As I said, I think he's a great guy. I think he works really hard. I think he's built a wonderful event. And as I said before, I would highly recommend that you attend that show. I've got no hard feelings as far as that, but I've made this video just because I put my face out there. I extended myself for them, and the end result is I got booted for that. And that's unfortunate. I don't think it's fair to me, but I respect his decision. It's his business. He can do what he wants. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to triple down on my efforts for the Toronto Guitar Expo. I've actually got a video coming. If you're watching this in real time, that should be coming soon. But really hoping that this becomes an annual event. It has some huge potential. And everyone who attended it, I know, had a great time. And it's got nowhere to go but up. And I know there's some other brands and companies that were kicking tires for the first one who likely will be involved next year. So I'm always open to discussion on either end. I'm not mad at anyone, but as I said, I'm here to defend my honor. Now, I would love to know if you have any thoughts about this. If you were at the event, if you want to drop some thoughts about the Elmira show, please do. It is a great event. Sorry, I will not be there next time. It's not looking like it anyways, and there will be no official video from that show, and I'm sorry to all the people that I promised. But there's tons of content still on this channel. The Toronto Guitar Expo, if you haven't heard about it, well, maybe you heard about it in this video. We'll be seeing some more content about that. Always want to hear what you have to say. But if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll. And I think I need to go take a walk after venting, but I look forward to catching you in the next one.